service, and affirmation. People with the love language of affirmation require daily encouraging words like, "I really appreciate what you did for me." Expressing love through letters laced with kindness are also a means of affirmation. Speaking your loved one's language of love is a powerful way to build emotional security and a more meaningful relationship.
For questions or more resources, text 258-1029.
It's 8:51 Friday morning on KSJE, and it is that time of the week when I get to sit down with Wally D from Wally D Sports to get up to date on prep sports of the week. Wally, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I am good. Welcome back. Good to have you here.
Always great to be here.
Lots to talk about, and we'll get to football in just a moment, but props to Navajo Prep this morning, right?
Yeah, Navajo Prep had a great run in the state volleyball championships. The girls did a great job, worked their way back through the losers bracket, beat the number 1 team in the state, and then the semifinals got to take on the number 2 team in the state, which was the Robertson Cardinals, and couldn't get past them. But it made it to semis, and a great run for Navajo Prep Lady Eagles volleyball.
Very good. Well, congrats to them again. And what else is going on? So volleyball's over, at least locally, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, the only thing that's left, now basketball started this past week.
The winter sports are starting again.
Winter sports started. They started basketball tryouts all this week and everything. Got our first varsity games coming up here in about a week and a half. So basketball, we're going to be talking basketball soon.
No rest for you.
but I'm not ready for basketball yet.
One thing to another, I know. You're barely done with football, but not quite.
Not quite, but let's talk about a little feel-good story that happened with cross-country state championships. And
that was last weekend, was it not? Right?
About a week and a half ago, I believe it was. And and it's a story about a guy that won the race, or they crowned him as the winner from Clovis. And
the technology said he won.
The technology said he won. And I wondered, I said, how do they do this? What do they do? And I found out what they do is they have little chips that they tie on their shoes.
Right.
And I had no idea.
So
I learned something new there.
Even I knew that. Now, come on. But okay, yeah.
But I just didn't realize they had that in high school,
True, and I've seen that, right. But it starts the timer as you cross the starting line, and then it supposedly times you, and then when you cross the finish line, that's your time.
Exactly. And this was kind of one of those things that Charlie, who was the Piedra Vista kid, had kind of come from behind, and they, it was just kind of a simultaneous thing, but he crossed the line ahead of him. But the timer awarded the young man from Clovis. And so
that was the official findings, right?
Right.
So Clovis first place, PV second place.
Right. Now, you can appeal it, but you only have 10 minutes to appeal or oppose the final standings. And so it wasn't until, a few days later, they started looking at the video. Charlie looked at the video, realized that he'd won. Also, the Clovis kid looked at the video and saw that he got beat. And so he went to his coach and he said, "Listen, I didn't win this medal." And so they went and gave the medal back to the NMAA. And so this week they had an awards ceremony here at Piedra Vista for Charlie for the first place medal, so he got the state championship.
Very nice, and a great lesson in sportsmanship, I think, from this athlete from Clovis who gave up his medal because it was the right thing to do. And
it was a win-win thing all the way around, because the New Mexico Activities Association give out scholarships, and one of their biggest thing is compete with class, compete with sportsmanship, and they awarded him $1,000 scholarship. So a win-win for everybody, and and it's just great to still see sportsmanship, and we see it. I see it every week with our young athletes in high school.
Well, you'd hope you would, and that's the whole idea, right, of athletics in high school for sure, and to teach some of those pillars of sportsmanship and things like that. So, but it's a great feel-good story, and again, kudos kudos to the athlete from Clovis for doing the right thing, because he certainly could have just ignored it and kept the medal and gone on, and no one's the wiser necessarily, and PV didn't protest in time, so
right.
It was over for all intents and purposes, really.
Exactly.
So,
but now he can sleep at night, right?
That's right, and that's important. Believe me, he'll find out as he gets older, that's for
definitely.
sure. But, all right, now let's get to football.
Football.
We got to get to football, right?
Exactly. Yeah, big
All
game.
eyes are on the Bobcats.
All eyes are on the Bobcats. It's been a fun week for the Bobcats, getting ready for it. I've talked to the coaches. I've talked to the head coach, Coach Alcorn, and they're really excited, for this. Now, they've been here. They were here last year.
Right.
They made it to the state championship game and came up short. But, it's kind of neat to see them as the number one seed now, which they got right at the end of the season. They're undefeated. They're 11-0, going for 12-0. And, they host the number 4 Grants Pirates, who dispatched the Kirtland Central Broncos last week to move to the semifinals.
Right.
And
I'm looking at we've got the brackets is the word I'm looking for on the screen.
Right.
That we can kind of see how things are shaping up here in the semifinals. But again, Bloomfield will take on Grants on Saturday.
Yeah,
1 o'clock.
so. And of course, I'll be bringing you the game. And we've named our station Bobcat Radio, so
Not Pirate Radio.
Not Pirate Radio,
Okay, because it's the Grants Pirates. No offense, Grants, but a little rebranding there.
A little rebranding, which that's okay. They,
right.
The Bobcats deserve it.
That's right.
And it's going to be a fun game. It's going to be really exciting, and the fans are going to come out, and we want everybody in the community,
right,
to come out. It's going to be a great day tomorrow. I always like them when they're on Saturdays because it's a little bit warmer than the Friday night deal.
No kidding. That's true. 1 o'clock should be good. It's going to be sunny tomorrow, from what we understand. The rain's gone, so
right.
Good day to enjoy some high school football over in Bloomfield, and then they will face the winner of the other game that's happening tomorrow, which is Lovington Portalis. And
right.
so you don't think Bloomfield's going to have a problem with Grants necessarily?
I don't. I've been pretty good with my predictions all year,
right?
And and even if they're close, I say it's going to be a close game. But anyway,
okay.
I really don't think Bloomfield will have a problem. They come and play like they know how to play, and they've done it all season. They shouldn't
right.
have a problem. And believe me, Grants isn't a pushover.
Right.
I mean, they've got a really good running back in the backfield that can make things happen, and Bloomfield just has got to shut him down.
Okay. But you're thinking they'll win.
They'll win.
We'll see. And then they're going to face the Lovington Portalis winner then. And that's another game on Saturday, of course. And so those are pretty tough teams from the South, right?
Right. And of course, as I said, Portalis was number 1 all season until the end of the season. They got the number 2 ranking. Lovington's been up there. They're district foes. They played on November 1st. Portalis won 34-14. But they're playing down in Lovington at Brian Urlacher Field, the Blue Field.
Okay.
And
right.
So that might give Lovington an advantage. Plus, it's hard to beat a team twice. But, everybody here is rooting for Portalis.
Right.
And you're like, oh, we got to play the number 2, which it doesn't matter. You got to play everybody to beat them in the state anyway.
Sure.
Be state champs. But and the reason is because the history of football goes by the last time they played in the semifinals.
Okay.
And so if Lovington wins, then Bloomfield has to travel to Lovington next Saturday for the state championship. If Portalis wins, then Portalis and Bloomfield wins, so they have to come up here.
Okay, and that's really the deciding factor, I guess, is you told me about history and things like that. That's how it's decided, but that's how it'll go.
Yeah.
And that game will be on the 30th, so that is next Saturday.
That is next Saturday. So
okay.
Hopefully we're looking for Bloomfield to go to another state championship game.
Right. That would be great. Well, we will see. Anything else to watch for?
No, just
that's the big thing, right?
That's the
basketball
big thing.
Starting.
Basketball starting, but right now it's football.
It's got to be football, and it's all Bobcat football.
It's all Bobcat football.
All right, and you'll be on Bobcat Radio tomorrow.
Yeah, and check us out, Wally D Sports Facebook. I've got live interviews with the coach and other coaches and so forth, and also you can go to wallydsports.com and see where the live feed is too.
Okay. If you're not near a radio or you're in tunnel somewhere or whatever, you can still listen to it.
That's right.
Okay, perfect. Wally D, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Appreciate it very much. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Thank you.
And your family next week.
Definitely.
That is Wally D from Wally D Sports, my guest here on KSJE Farmington. Thank you for watching, everyone, and listening. Have a great Friday and an even better weekend. I'm Scott Micklin. I'll see you next week, 8 a.m. right here on KSJE.